Hello, everyone. JDev, creator of the JDev Entertainment Network, has returned once again to give you precisely what you want, which of course would be more of me because I'm in such high demand, and quite frankly, I'm all you're going to need, especially with the coronavirus pandemic. Giving everybody a video I haven't done in a while. I'm not going to be talking about True Blood, Lost. I'm not going to be talking about Walking Dead. I'm not going to be talking about Dexter. I'm not going to be talking about UFC. But a Game of Thrones video, as we've almost had a year gone by since the end of the series. And I just wanted to reflect on Game of Thrones and answer, or not necessarily answer, but address a lot of concerns with the end of the season or the end of the series. But before I do that, it's very important, if you're not caught up with where I am or where this video is going with Game of Thrones, and that means the whole entire series, then I highly suggest that right now you stop watching this video because there are going to be major spoilers. And for the rest of you, quick, if you like this video, if you like the content that I'm creating, go ahead and smash that like button. Share it if you want. Leave a comment in the comment section with your thoughts about what I'm discussing here and anything Game of Thrones related, really. And last but certainly not least, go ahead and hit that sub button and subscribe to the channel. Join the team. Show your support. All those things help the channel out, even if you just do one of those, and it's greatly appreciated. So, Game of Thrones was an epic series. The problem is, a lot of you did not like the end of Game of Thrones. In fact, the season 8 in general, nobody really likes. Not a lot of people like it. And the reason why I'm bringing up this video, because I've been watching a lot of live reactions of Game of Thrones season 8, specifically the Burlington Bar. Shout out to them for their awesome reaction videos, because they're a lot of fun. And they all love it. But apparently a lot of you don't, that aren't from the Burlington Bar. Let's start off with episode 1. A little slower episode, it kind of mocks the first episode of the series. But the big payoff at the end is Jaime gets, he arrives to Winterfell, and then the first person he locks eyes with is Bran. And it's like, what the fuck? And then, the end of the episode. Episode 2, kind of a slower episode, kind of the calm before the storm. Everybody has like their last meal together because a lot of people are going to die in the next episode. At least I did. I had heard episode 3 was going to be the crazy one. So you had everybody meet, have their last, little fun together, sing songs, have sex for the first time, Arya and Gendry. That was pretty crazy, by the way. And then, of course, we leave on a cliffhanger. Just a week cliffhanger. 1 week cliffhanger, kind of, sort of. And, episode 3, the long night, my favorite episode of any TV series ever, was pretty crazy. But a lot of you are upset that Arya killed the Night King. Now, if you go to the Burlington Bar and search for Game of Thrones 803, Arya kills the Night King, they just have one snip of that. Everybody in that bar was going crazy. And unfortunately, I wasn't. I don't get, crazy watching Game of Thrones or any TV show. I just kind of sit there and, take it all in. So my reaction, which I did record, I just kind of sat there and was like... And then kind of, went like that. But I didn't, get really hyper and emotional. But every time I see that scene, it's just awesome every time. And everybody there at the Burlington Bar, from what I saw, was happy as hell. But a lot of you think that Jon Snow should have killed the Night King. But I argue that if you look back early on in Game of Thrones, Arya was being groomed to do this very thing, and that's take care of this Night King. Now, okay, the Night King and the White Walkers and the Whites, they didn't last very long. They weren't much of a threat. I mean, they were a threat in that episode, and that was pretty much it, and a few other episodes. But we've been set up that Cersei is the big villain in Game of Thrones, so they wanted to end on that. Well, you could argue that the Night King was supposed to be a big villain, but he can't talk. So there's only so much you can do with a person that can't talk. That's where I look at it with that. So, yes, I know a lot of you are upset that the Night King was killed by Arya. Jon had his chance. He wasn't fast enough when the Night King raised everybody. And I think it meant for us, because I didn't see it coming at all. I had no clue. I had a good idea of people that were going to die in the episode, but I had no clue that Arya was going to be the one to jump out from out of nowhere and kill the Night King. So it was pretty crazy, in my opinion. But a lot of bookworms liked the fact that Jon Snow would have done it if he would have. And then in episode 4 was kind of let's clean up the mess. Let's have another good moment with our characters. Here was one of the shocking things that happened in season 8 that I didn't see coming, and that was Missandei dying. I'm not really upset about it. I mean, Missandei was kind of a background character anyway. She had a little bit to do here and there, but I mean, she wasn't really all that important as a whole in Game of Thrones. She didn't do a lot as far as fighting. She didn't do any fighting, and it's unfortunate that she died, but she did. I don't think there's anything wrong. Oh, and a dragon died, and you guys are upset about that. Well, I mean, you knew it was going to happen, didn't you? And then we come to episode 5, the Bell episode. In my initial watching of that episode, I was kind of like, wow, did she really have to go that far and just kill everybody and basically light fire the whole episode? You know, have their dragon breathe fire on everything the whole episode? But that was an amazing episode. I have some gripes. I do have a gripe. One of my gripes. I have a few gripes. Missandei dying. Jaime and Cersei dying by rubble falling on top of them. Now, we didn't know for sure if they were dead until the next episode, and I was holding out hoping that they would still be alive, but, I mean, it looked pretty, it looked like a death scene. And it was touching that they died together, but I think Cersei did deserve a more brutal death. But the funny thing is, watching that episode with Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen, which was kind of being set up, you start, in my opinion, I started to root for Cersei and root against Daenerys. Like, somebody killed Daenerys. It's just where I was coming from with that. I mean, Jaime Lannister is one of my favorite characters. Him and Arya kind of flip-flop all the time. And I wanted Jaime and Cersei to get away somewhere on a boat and go off to another place and, become regular civilians or something like that. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to get away. And dying by rubble, well, that wasn't that great. But, I guess another thing that people have a problem with is Jaime and Brienne. They like the fact that Jaime and Brienne hooked up, which Jaime, he did a complete 180. His character development from being one of the most hated characters to being one of the most likable characters on Game of Thrones. And he kind of dumped Brienne, but hey, he helped her lose her virginity. And then he came to his senses, and he knew the one he really loved is Cersei. He always has since the first episode. And so he went back to her. Now, and I think a lot of us thought he was going to King's Landing to kill Cersei, and I admit that's what I thought too, but didn't happen that way. But it's better that Jaime and Cersei ended up together, and it was very touching that Brienne in the Kingsguard book wrote, he died protecting his queen or died serving his queen, so that was cool. But they had them die with the rubble falling on top of them, and then of course the very next episode, I'll get back to that. This episode 5, the Bell or whatever the hell it's called. Tyrion has to find them, which was kind of, they could have did it a better way than that, but they had the Clegane Bowl in that, which was epic. That was that we've been waiting for that for a long time. The Mountain and the Hound. The Hound had such a good story arc. It was very exciting. If you have a problem with anything the Hound did, I don't agree with it. I'm a little annoyed that Arya's been on this kill everybody mode. And then she talks to the Hound, and he randomly talks her out of killing Cersei and to go back home. And I thought that was a little annoying, and she calls him Sandor then. But, Euron Greyjoy, Jaime Lannister's fight, that wasn't too bad. Euron claiming that he killed Jaime Lannister. Jaime probably would have died with that wound, but I don't like that idea, because he was kind of a wimpy character. He wasn't really in the show that much anyway, but he had to do what he had to do. Daenerys killing Lord Varys, I don't mind that. I thought Varys was kind of annoying. He was kind of like Littlefinger. In my opinion, I saw him more as Littlefinger, because that's just what I think. I didn't mind that at all. I really didn't. I thought Grey Worm should have died, by the way, because of his brutality, but it didn't happen. And then more on the finale of the series. You know, the biggest thing is Daenerys and Jon Snow, and Jon killing Daenerys. I think a lot of us saw that coming, but it seems like when you watch the reactions, not a lot of us did. I did. I didn't know for sure if it was going to happen, but I certainly saw it coming. And after episode 5, I was pretty certain that was going to happen. So I don't mind that. We've been hearing about this Mad King stuff, and then Daenerys becomes the Mad Queen. So that made sense to me. And then, of course, the big issue I have with Game of Thrones Season 8, one of the few issues I have with it that I don't necessarily agree with, is Bran Stark becoming king of the Six Kingdoms. It's not my choice, but if you look at, or if you remember everything that happened in the series, so you have Ned Stark, you have Catelyn Stark, you have Robb Stark, they all die, and then all their children plus their bastard son are the leaders of everything. You know, Jon Snow goes back to Castle Black, the Wildlings, or the Wall, and he kind of he gets to do what he wants because he never wanted to be king. Arya gets to find out what's west of Westeros, which that's kind of lame. I think she should have stayed with Gendry. Okay, there's a minor issue I have. I would have preferred Arya to stay with Gendry, but she's not a lady. She's a fighter. And then Sansa becoming Queen of the North, or Queen in the North, which that was exciting. You know, all the Starks and Jon Snow are like the leaders, or looked to as leaders, so you could say, with Jon being at the Wall and that. So I don't have a problem with that. But Bran, I mean, if you look at it, he was a very important character early on in the series. Now, he kind of took a back seat for a while, and then he got weird with the Three-Eyed Raven stuff. But I would have preferred somebody else to be king. But then who are you going to make king? You know, Gendry maybe? That'd be my only, like... Tyrion, okay, Tyrion would work too, but there's not many options. Bran is perfect for that, although I thought he didn't want to be king. You know, I thought he was just the Three-Eyed Raven and not Brandon Stark or Bran Stark anymore, but I guess they kind of forgot about that. But so minor gripes, Cersei, Jaime, rubble on top of them, Bran becoming king, Gendry and Arya is not a thing. Well, it was a thing for one episode, and then she left him. So, you know, it is what it is. I think, honestly, Season 8 was amazing. The whole last season I liked a lot. I don't think there's really anything I would change. I would have preferred Jaime and Cersei to live, but can that really happen? Probably not. So, you know, if you're not a fan of the final season, let's debate. Friendly, please. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button, though. I took the time to talk about Game of Thrones. Not a lot of other YouTubers are. If they are talking about Game of Thrones, it's just a specific Game of Thrones YouTube channel. Like the video. Like I said, smash that like. Subscribe if you can. Doesn't take much to just hit that subscribe button. Show your support. And, of course, JDev will be back again soon. Or shall I say, JDev will return.